So today I want to walk you through something that a lot of people honestly don't even realize exists. And that is the fact that Fidelity actually lets you hold real physical precious metals inside a retirement account, including gold, silver, and even platinum. And they've been doing this in a very structured and compliant way through what's called a self-directed IRA. Before we start with the video, I really suggest you to go to vanstarmining.com/gold selection to discover my favorite and most trusted gold IRA companies. You may be surprised which ones I personally recommend. First, I want to be really clear from the beginning that Fidelity doesn't treat gold as a hype product. They don't treat it like a sales pitch. They treat it like one piece of a long-term retirement strategy, which is very different from the way a lot of gold companies present it. With Fidelity, you're not being pushed into metals. You're being given the option to use metals inside a much larger retirement planning system. What Fidelity actually offers is a self-directed IRA, which still follows the same tax rules as a normal IRA, meaning you can open it as either a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. With a traditional gold IRA, you may be able to deduct contributions now. Your account grows tax-deferred, and you pay taxes when you take distributions in retirement. With a Roth Gold IRA, you're using after-tax money, but the growth and withdrawals can be completely tax-free as long as you follow IRS rules. Both types of accounts have the same early withdrawal penalties and retirement age rules as any other IRA. Once your self-directed IRA is open, you can fund it either by making new contributions or by rolling over money from an old 401k or another IRA. And this is where Fidelity starts to become very different from many precious metals dealers, because you're not opening some separate, isolated gold-only account. You're opening an actual Fidelity retirement account that simply has more investment permissions. Now, when it comes to what you can actually buy, Fidelity gives you two main paths. One is physical metals, and the other is what you could call paper gold. Things like gold ETFs and gold mutual funds. So if you don't want to deal with vault storage or metal custody, you can simply buy gold-related funds like GLD or Fidelity's own Select Gold Portfolio Mutual Fund, which is FSEGEX, and those funds hold shares of mining companies or track gold prices. That's the simplest option, and it works inside regular IRAs as well. But if you want to hold real metal, you can do that too, as long as you use the self-directed IRA. And Fidelity is extremely strict about what metals qualify, because everything has to meet IRS standards. Gold must be at least 99.5% pure. Silver must be 99.9% pure. Platinum and palladium must be 99.95% pure. You are not allowed to buy collectibles, rare coins, or numismatic coins for an IRA. Fidelity limits your options on purpose to only what the IRS clearly approves. That includes American Gold Eagles in 1 ounce, quarter ounce, and 10th ounce sizes, American Gold Buffaloes in 1 ounce, Silver American Eagles in 1 ounce, Platinum American Eagles in 1 ounce, and certain bullion quality bars that meet IRS purity rules. Fractional bullion bars are not allowed. Everything must meet strict compliance standards. When you are ready to buy metals, you don't just click a button online. You actually have to call a Fidelity trading representative and place your order over the phone. There are specific trading hours, and while that may feel a little old school, it ensures that the order is properly verified and compliant with IRA rules. Once the metals are purchased, they are not shipped to you. You are not allowed to store them at home, in a safe, or in a safety deposit box if they are inside an IRA. All physical metals must be stored at an IRS-approved depository, and Fidelity uses its own insured Delaware-based depository called FideliTrade. Your metals are fully insured, audited, and stored in compliance with federal regulations. Now let's talk about costs, because Fidelity is actually very transparent here. There is no fee to open the IRA. Each precious metals transaction has a $44 transaction fee. Storage is billed quarterly and is equal to 1/8 of 1% of your account's total value per quarter, with a minimum quarterly charge. There is also a trade commission that ranges from roughly 1% to just under 3% depending on how much you invest. Meaning the more you invest, the lower your percentage cost tends to be. Overall, Fidelity's metals pricing is considered competitive compared to other gold IRA custodians. Another important thing to understand is that precious metals are volatile. Fidelity itself openly states that direct precious metals investments can fluctuate significantly and may not be appropriate for all investors. That's why they emphasize diversification and encourage metals to be used as part of a broader retirement portfolio, not as a replacement for everything else. One of the major advantages of Fidelity is that you are not just getting a vault and a phone number, you're getting access to planning tools, retirement calculators, contribution calculators, real-time market charts, research reports, financial education, and access to licensed advisors who can help you integrate metals into a complete retirement strategy that also includes stocks, bonds, ETFs, and mutual funds. So you're not locked into being a gold-only investor. If your strategy changes, you can move out of metals and into other assets without leaving Fidelity. Everything stays under one institutional roof. There are also a few real limitations to be honest about. Fidelity's physical metals selection is intentionally limited. Their website can feel crowded and complex, especially if you're only there for metals, and the fact that you must place metals trades by phone, and only during certain hours may be inconvenient for some people. But in exchange, what you get is one of the most compliant, regulated, stable, and institutionally supported ways to hold real physical gold inside a retirement account in the United States. So if you are the type of investor who values structure, transparency, proper custody, reasonable fees, and long-term retirement planning over hype, fear-based marketing, and flashy coin promotions, then Fidelity is actually a very strong choice for adding precious metals to your retirement strategy. This is not a company trying to scare you into gold. It's a company offering gold as one tool among many, and that's exactly how responsible retirement investing is supposed to work. I hope this video was helpful, and don't forget to go to vanstarmining.com/gold selection to check the most trusted gold companies I would choose. You may be surprised which ones I personally recommend.